Did you ever wondered why we are using the same word in every language for music? I mean, in English, in German, in Italian, in French, in Russian, in Turkish, in Arabic, in Tajikistan, in Kazakhstan, in Turkmenistan, in many other countries and languages. Music is always music. We are always using the same word for music. Why? Is it a Greek invention? Because music is coming from Greek language originally. Well, I don't think so. Because music is something instinctive. It's coming from inside of us. And it might even older than the languages. I mean, we might even start to talk by music. Maybe there are such theories about that issue. Then why we are all using a Greek word to talk about music? I mean, if that music is kind of instinctive and if music is very old, then in every language we should have a different word for music, right? But we are all using that Greek word. What those Greeks did, it's very interesting actually. Well, it is the same story why we are using mathematics, geometry, and physics. Those are also Greek words, you know, because in ancient Greece, they make some methodological studies and they made those areas kind of differentiated than the other areas. They made those like mathematics, geometry, music, they made those independent studies. So after that, those studies have been translated into different languages, like into Latin and into Arabic, and from there to the other languages. So then we all start to use that word music. Okay then, why I am using the example of music, by the way? As music, we are also using another word coming from Greek language, democracy. Yes, right. We all use the same word, democracy. It's a Greek word. So neither music nor democracy is a Greek invention actually. Yes, they made some methodological studies and made those kind of independent areas. And they are very important studies for the history of humankind actually. But it is not a Greek invention actually. So, because in some political science essays, you would see that democracy, they claim democracy is an old Greek invention. No, it is not. Because before the civilization, in the kinship societies, we were all egalitarian societies. That means we were all democratic actually. I mean, in a kinship society, if there is going to be a kind of norm, a rule, that all the people would create that norm, rule altogether. That's democracy actually. And by the way, the ancient Greeks are not the inventors of democracy in that sense, but we might say they are the murderers of democracy. Okay, I'm going to be easy on the Greeks because they are not the only one who murdered the democracy actually, because before the civilization, kinship Greek societies were actually democratic. When they turn into a civilized society, then they start to have slavery, and in that ancient Greek city-states, the women did not have right to vote, they didn't have any political rights. So it doesn't sound like democracy actually, because only a small percentage of the city-state was eligible for attending into the democratic process in the ancient Greece. So it is the same actually in many other nations which turn into civilization from a kinship society, because in a kinship society you are originally a democratic society, but when you turn into a democratic society you start to act a little bit differently, because now you have a class distinction and now you are not an egalitarian society.